Hello, hey, howdy, hey, how is everybody? How are we all holding up? Everybody staying sane? I know I am. Anyway, what am I doing today? So a while ago I got a comment on one of my videos from a girl called Chelsea. She said that if I was stuck for content, she recently done a travel tag and she was wondering if I wanted to do it. And I'm pretty much very stuck for content right now, so I said, why not? So this is for you, Chelsea. I'll leave a link to Chelsea's channel down below in the description as well. She's only got a handful of subscribers, so if anyone wants to help out, that would be great. So first question is, what age were you when you first started traveling? So first time I ever left the country, I think I was about 4 or 5. I was on a ferry over towards Wales. First flight, I think I was about 9-ish. It was family holiday to Salou. But traveling properly, I think I was about 21. Where was your first trip? So first trip, again, leaving the country, was a ferry over to Wales. I don't actually know how long I spent over there. The highlights of that trip that I do remember is that I got a new umbrella. I played Buckaroo with some girl that I don't know. Went to a playground and I met an awesome dog called Duke. First time on a plane was a family holiday to Salou in Spain. What countries have you visited / lived in? So lived in, I've only ever lived in Ireland and Canada for a few months. But the other countries I've been to, now I count the UK as separate countries because to me they all seem so different and they all have their own culture and stuff like that, so I count them separate. So far I've been to Ireland, Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, Norway, Germany. Hello. So far I've been to Ireland, Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, Norway, Iceland, Germany, Belgium, Spain, Portugal, Greece, South Africa, USA and Canada. Where is your dream place to go and why? Oh, that's a tough one. Right, so I'll pick a top 2. So number 1, 100% the Galapagos Islands. Mostly because it's where Charles Darwin had his theory of evolution and all the wildlife that seems to be so abundant there. It is an absolute dream of mine to go to the Galapagos Islands. Especially since I'm a big wildlife fan, many of my destinations are surrounded in wildlife and yeah, it's just somewhere I really want to go. Second place, it's a fight between these two. Again, mostly because of the wildlife. Right, top 3. Antarctica will be 3rd because again, all the wildlife. And number 3 then will be Costa Rica as well. Again, because of all the wildlife. I have a whole list of places that I really want to go, but I'd say they'd be the top 3. What are your favourite memories from travelling? Again, there's so many. First one that pops into my head right now, amongst every other amazing memory I've ever had, I'd say, alright, top 2. So one of them was for whale watching, both in Iceland and in Vancouver as well. So Vancouver mainly because it was humpbacks, it was orcas, and one of them breached out of the water as well. I didn't catch it on film, I literally just seen him as he splashed back down. But yeah, it was amazing. But the one in Iceland, we had minke whales, but we mostly saw dolphins. But at the end of the whale watching trip, we got a feeding frenzy. All the dolphins are going around in a circle. There was fish jumping out, there was seagulls diving in to get it. It looked like something out of a David Attenborough documentary, and it was just amazing. Second memory that came to my head was in Greece. We were going up to a waterfall called Neda Falls, and to get there we took a taxi up along the Greek hills. It was like the Italian Job. There was 3 taxis going around all these steep roads, and then we got to this little town, and then from there we got into a pickup truck with an old man with a long beard, and that brought us over to the falls, and we were singing our hearts out to the songs from Mamma Mia, and it was just amazing. Name 3 things that you bring with you on your travels. So I'm going to say other than the obvious, my laptop, my phone, my camera, they're kind of obvious, but the main 3 things I bring is Sudocrem because I'm prone to hurting myself, a notebook because you never know when you're going to need one and it's just handy to have if you ever need notes or to write down itineraries, things like that. And I don't have any with me right now. Usually I bring a little serum thing of Rescue Remedy, simply because I'm a bit of a nervous flyer, and especially if we're going through bad turbulence and stuff like that, I tend to get a little squirt just to try and calm me down. But I've gotten better to wean myself off the Rescue Remedy on flights. Getting better, but still not quite there yet, so I always have it there just in case. Question 7, favourite foods from another country. There's a top 2 in this one as well. I'd have to say so far it's a fight between poutine in Canada or moussaka in Greece, because it is delicious. Question 8. What are a few words that you've learned from traveling? So my favorite 2 words that spring to my mind right now is years ago I'd done a week of the Camino de Santiago, and basically it was a tradition per se that anytime you pass another walker, you say Bon Camino, which means have a good walk. And you're literally just passing by people and you just say, oh, Bon Camino, or you know, there's like you're passing through a village and say someone's standing outside their house, you say Bon Camino and they say it back to you. So it was really nice. And then the second word then is from Portugal, is obrigado, which is thank you, because I kind of make it my mission when I go to other countries to learn how to say hello, please, thank you, you know, small little phrases as well. I'd like to think that they appreciate it. I don't know if they do. It's just a thing that I do when I travel, and obrigado sticks out to me because there was a leaflet handed to me in the hostel when I was staying in Portugal. It was all different facts about Portugal and stuff like that. And they had a note to say, do not say gracias, because they don't speak Spanish, they speak Portuguese. So yeah, that one sticks to my mind. Have you made friends from other countries and how did you meet? Plenty. It's a sad thing about traveling. Sometimes you make friends and you're like the best of friends when you're there, but as soon as you go home, you don't really stay in touch that often, and it's kind of sad. But I done an exchange trip in Norway with my local youth club. It was like a group of us coming together from Ireland, Norway, Latvia and Spain, and made a good few friends there, and we kind of were doing activities for the week. It was mostly based around creative writing, and it was great because a lot of us still write happy birthday and stuff on Facebook, and it's nice to see how they're getting on as well. Other times then I met a great group of friends in Banff in Canada. It was these German girls, and we hung out for a couple of nights. We done tours with each other, and we done, you know, pub quizzes and stuff like that, and it was just so much fun. I'm a bit of a shy person when I travel, and especially when I'm solo, I kind of tend to keep to myself, which is kind of a bad habit. But things like hostels and stuff like that are great for meeting people, and I find it so much easier to make friends in hostels than if you were to stay in a hotel when you're traveling. Most memorable moment. So that's kind of similar to question before. So another most memorable moment I have to say was, I mentioned this in a video before, was when I was volunteering in South Africa. Basically I was volunteering in a big cat sanctuary. They were all like rescued lions and tigers and all sorts of other animals as well. Mostly centered around big cats, and a lot of them grew up in either canned hunting farms, zoos, circuses, illegal private ownership, that kind of thing. And there was one tiger in particular called Laziz, who was from what was known as the world's worst zoo. If you Googled it, fair warning though, the pictures are horrendous. And he came probably 2 weeks before I got there, and his zoo had suffered from bomb attacks in Gaza. A lot of animals died in the zoo, and they kind of just left and abandoned the entire zoo. It was horrendous. He wasn't coming out of his house much when I got there, and kind of just used to have to sit with him and try and encourage him out and just to make sure he's okay. Then on my birthday, part of our job was to make toys and enrichments for them. And on my birthday, I threw over a box full of hay and spices and stuff to try and see if would he be interested in playing with it. Sure enough, he came out, and even though he took the box and brought it back into his house, but he still came out, and I could see him in his house. He was sniffing and rolling around in the box, so that made me very, very happy. Worst moment? I'm pretty fortunate to not have that many worst moments. You know, I had a train cancel, you know, things like that happen. The worst of the lot, I would say, was when I fell off a bike in Whistler. We were out cycling, and the ground was a bit wet and slippery, and I was going way too fast turning around a corner, ended up coming off the track, and I pulled the brakes and I went over the handlebars and face first into the ground, and I busted up my nose. My chin was busted up, my knee was grazed all the way down. I've mentioned this a few times in other videos, but yeah, that was probably the worst moment. Where would you like to visit again, and why? Oh, everywhere, anywhere at this stage. Obviously, I would still always go back to Orlando, because that place definitely has a big place in my heart. It's kind of where our family go regularly on holidays. It's just our place to go. But Orlando is kind of a guaranteed we're going to go back there at some stage. But if I was to pick somewhere, it'd have to be Greece. Because I know I done my volunteer project there. I spent 2 whole weeks in Greece, absolutely loved it. I definitely did not see enough of Greece, and I want to go to the islands. I want to see Athens, and I just don't feel like I'm finished with it yet, so definitely Greece would be a place. Do you have travel plans for 2021? Oh boy, I wish. Alright, I actually do, and I've only got 2 that's kind of booked in a way, and the rest is all hypothetical. It just solely depends on what way this year is going to play out. Further down the line, I think there is a way that we could travel and travel safely. The likes of getting tested, maybe getting vaccinated and stuff like that. Who knows? But on a fingers crossed basis, I'm hoping to go to Morocco in April, but that's still kind of on the maybe list because it is April, it's quite close, but we just have to see what way things are going. But I am hoping to get tested going over, get tested coming back. I'm going to quarantine at home as well and get a second test just in case. I'm kind of saving up extra money to plan just to make sure that if I do get going, that I can do it as safely as possible. So just have to wait and see how that goes. Second trip is further down the line. It is to our beloved Orlando. We're hoping to go the end of October into November. Again, solely depends on what way things play out. We are booking Orlando with a COVID cover. I can't say it. We are booking Orlando with COVID cover. There we go. So basically, if something happens and we can't go anymore, we could still get our money back, or we could push it for another day for free. So see how that goes. I would like to do a backpacking down the west coast of Ireland kind of trip as well, if staycations are allowed. Again, solely depends on what way things play out. Question 14. Why do you travel? I don't know. Why do I travel? I think for me personally, it's a lot of it has got to do with getting me out of my comfort zone, because there was once upon a time that I would never get on the plane unless my mom and dad were with me, because I was that nervous with flying, and I hated it, and I still don't like it to this day, but I was way worse back then. I turned down a class trip to Poland that was going to Auschwitz and the salt mines and stuff like that, which I regret hugely now, but I did turn that down because my mom and dad weren't going to be with me, and I was like 16 at the time. Nowadays, it's more like I want to see the world now, I want to find different wildlife, I want to practice photography. I just want to get out of my comfort zone and actually enjoy what the world has to offer. To me, like, Ireland is only a small, tiny little country, and the world is just so huge, so better off just getting out to see it. Question 15. Do you or have you travelled for work, and to where? Unfortunately, no, I haven't actually had the pleasure of being sent away for work. Although we did go for a training day in Kilkenny with my old job, and that was actually, they pay for a hotel for the night, which is pretty good, but not abroad anyway. Question 16. Preferred climates. Anyone who has subscribed to me for a while, you would know sunshine and warmth. I mean, the cold and the snow is fun for a little while, but it does get annoying, and especially when I come from somewhere like Ireland that's constantly damp. Sunshine all the way. Question 17. What's the first thing you check out when you arrive somewhere? Depends on the flight. If it's a long flight, I don't sleep on planes. So generally the first thing I check out is my bed for the night, and I just crash and sleep there, and you won't see me till the next day. But if it's somewhere a little more local, like around Europe, I kind of tend to just drop my bags and go for a wander in the immediate area. Generally I go get something to eat, and depends on the time of day as well. If there's a beach nearby, I'll be on that. But most of the time I leave the main bit of exploring till the day after. Question 18. Have you travelled around your home country? What is your favourite spot? I would definitely like to see more of Ireland. I definitely don't think I've seen enough at all. And Fred, thank you. Sorry. I got a new fish, his name is Fred, and a few days ago he ate one of my smaller fish, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't. I'm watching you. So far in Ireland, I've kind of mainly stuck around the Dublin area. But I think so far from what I've seen, it has to be Sligo. Absolutely loved my time in Sligo, mainly because it was sunny when I was there. But there's just so much to do, especially if you love being outside. There's surfing, there's hiking, and there's history as well if you're into that. I found there was a lot of wildlife, like birds and stuff like that. So far, yeah, Sligo would be my favourite spot. Question 19. What is your favourite thing about travelling? I would say one of my favourite activities when I travel is sitting somewhere and just people watch the world go by. If I'm in a marina, just watch the boats go by. But wildlife is a big thing. I've said this already, wildlife is a huge thing. When I was in Canada, I loved just going for walks down to the lake, see if I could find any wildlife, take a few nice photographs, things like that. Wildlife photography is a huge thing to me. and I'm hoping to get better at it this year since we can't go anywhere. But in saying that, in total contrast, I absolutely love theme parks. They are my utmost favourite, like Disneyland, Universal Studios, other kinds of stuff like that. I don't do big roller coasters like the ones that go loop to loop, but I absolutely love theme parks. And last question, question 20, what are your top travel tips? I'd have to say, so I consider myself a budget traveller, so I always tend to use sites like Skyscanner or Booking.com just to try and get the best price possible. Now sometimes I have booked direct with the airline and it turned out to be cheaper, so biggest advice I will give you is to shop around. For the likes of booking hotels or hostels, always book for free cancellation, for just in case things go wrong and you have to rearrange your entire trip. Always book for free cancellation. Third piece of advice then is one I find myself not doing enough, is put the camera down, put away your phone and have fun. Enjoy the moment while you're there, because yes, you want to capture every memory and moment, but take some time away to actually enjoy and be in the moment as well. So that is a travel tag that was suggested to me by Chelsea. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for suggesting this. It was a great idea. Again, a link to her channel is down below as well. So for nomination then, I'm going to nominate anyone who wants to do this tag. Honestly, I'd love to nominate every single creator who has subscribed to me. Go steal this if you want to. We are all struggling for content right now. So if you want to do it, feel free, have at it. I'll leave the questions down below in the description. So thank you so much for watching this video. So stay safe, wash your hands, look after each other, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye!